China's parliament, the National People's Congress, has just approved a constitutional amendment to abolish presidential term limits. President Xi, already one of the most powerful Chinese leaders in decades, will now be able to rule indefinitely, perhaps for life.
Welcome people, this is UPSCCONNECT, presenting you In Focus. And in this episode, we'll be discussing about how China is trying to dominate the world. The country's Communist Party has proposed a constitutional amendment in which it has removed the 2-year term limit on president and vice president. Along with this amendment, it has included President Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristic for a new era. Also, the Communist Party of China will now uphold its absolute leadership over the People's Liberation Army. So, with these amendments, President Xi Jinping and the General Secretary of Communist Party of China is now the most powerful leader since Chairman Mao Zedong. Another thing which has been added in the constitution is One Belt, One Road, a project spread over land as well as ocean. It all started in 2013 at Kazakhstan when President Xi Jinping, in order to revive the old Silk Route, said,
"We should take an innovative approach and jointly build an economic belt along the Silk Road."
And 3 months later in Indonesia he said,
"The two sides should work together to build up a new maritime road in the 21st century."
And together with Economic Belt and Maritime Silk Route, the project cost $4 to $8 trillion. So far, around 60 plus countries has reportedly signed for these projects, and the list is growing, as China promoted it as a win-win for everyone. Like in Pakistan, there is a port called Gwadar Port, which is a part of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor with a budget of $62 billion. This port is important because it helps in connecting Gwadar Port to various parts of the world. The Gwadar Port is connected to China via road network, spanning a length of 1,500 miles from Gwadar Port to Kashgar in China via a Karakoram highway. And the road network also has many number of tunnels. And this project shows how deep Pakistan-China friendship is. China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is not the only economic corridor, but there are 6 economic corridors connecting Asia, Middle East and Europe, bringing together 65 countries with major infrastructure projects under the banner of New Silk Route. Like the 12,000-kilometer railway line connecting from Iwo in China to London in United Kingdom. With the Chinese and Kazakh government to revive the old Silk Route by freight trains, Kyrgyz Port, one of the world's driest port, will be the center of trade. Kyrgyz Port, which lies on the border of Kazakhstan and China, is a gateway which helps in connecting two countries by rail lines. It's a network of two systems because Kazakhstan, being a former member of Soviet Russia, uses Russian rail gauge. Chinese rail gauge is 1435 mm, and when compared to Russian rail gauge, it is 8.9 cm narrower. So, all the containers from China has to be transferred from one train to another in order to transport merchandise to different nations. A part of this project is giving loans to different countries which are vulnerable, and some of them are at high risk to pay it back. This strategy of China, we can call it as game of loans. For example, in Sri Lanka, in order to transform the Hambantota port into a major shipping hub, Sri Lanka got a loan from China. But in 2016, it was clear that it couldn't pay it back. So, in 2017, they agreed to transfer the Hambantota port to China on a period of 99-year lease. So apart from Hambantota and Gwadar, China hold a major share in Kyakepu Island in Myanmar, and it has opened a Chinese naval base in Djibouti. So all these locations make string of pearls theory, which predicts that China is building a string of naval stations in Indian Ocean, which will allow it to station ships and move towards different regions. Because of China's willingness to loan money to unreliable countries, many experts are calling China's One Belt One Road initiative a risky plan, because these countries eventually will have to pay China back, and if not, then they would be in debt to China forever. A recent Oxford study says that most of Chinese infrastructure projects fails to deliver any positive return. Although China calls this project as the project of the century, but the reality is that it still has a long way to go. So that's all for this episode of In Focus. Thank you for watching it. If you liked the video, then press the like button and share it with your family and friends. Press the subscribe button and the bell button to be the first one to get notifications about our upcoming videos. For more information, visit our website www.upscconnect.com. You can even follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So that's all for this video. We'll talk to you guys next one. Till then, have a nice day.